do Rihanna and the Red Hot Chili Peppers have in common? A deep admiration for Brandy Norwood.
She's been called your favorite singer's favorite singer. The artist known as the Vocal Bible is both a Grammy winner and television star. Brandy has had many highs in her career and was the it girl in the 90s and early 2000s. But even still, Brandy's vocal talent and innovation are not recognized enough. So we're going to talk about it. Brandy was only 14 years old when she recorded her first single, I Wanna Be Down. The minimal arrangement combined with her impressive vocal chops won over the hearts of R&B and pop listeners alike.
What do you think made Brandy stand out early in her career? What do you think made her pop?
So I think there is this very polished look that was super intentional and this innocence that made her very loving. So that worked. But her tone, Brandy, it's only one tone.
You know it out of 1,000 voices.
She's a quiet storm.
But Brandy didn't reach that level of success overnight. Born in 1979, she spent most of her childhood in Carson, California. Brandy's father was a gospel singer and a minister of music.
Yes, that's right. Brandy got her musical foundation in the church. She even started singing in the church choir at the age of 2.
Brandy's life was changed after seeing Whitney Houston on TV for the first time. She remembers telling her mom, I want to be as big as Whitney Houston. By the time she was 12 years old, she was already singing backup for the teen R&B group Immature.
And it took her only a year or two to land her own record deal with Atlantic.
It's important to remember that the musical landscape of the 1980s looked nothing like we're used to today. Labels struggled to find mainstream success with young Black women stars. There were a few artists who left their mark, like Tracy Spencer, Penny Ford, and Janet Jackson. But even they struggled to break out of the R&B charts and cross over to pop.
Between white artists infusing pop with R&B elements and Black artists getting closer to mainstream than ever before, Brandy had a real shot at becoming a superstar. And Brandy did become a superstar.
In 1997, she starred in Cinderella alongside her hero Whitney Houston. She got her own TV show, Moesha, sold Barbie dolls, and even cut a deal with CoverGirl.
So how did Brandy grow into a heavyweight? And what makes her voice so special? It all starts with her greatest influence, Whitney Houston. You can hear the Whitney influence in her debut album with songs like Baby, or Broken Hearted.
I feel like she was able to use Whitney Houston as kind of her launching pad into being a lot more inventive and a lot more thoughtful and, okay, where else can I go musically?
In what ways do you hear that Whitney influence in her music?
You know, if you really go back and you listen to a lot of her ballads, broken, all of that's Whitney. If you listen to that and you put it side by side with I Believe in You and Me, it's the same vocal style.
Yeah, and my favorite one is the one, it's the one that's like, let me live just so I can sing for you. Sounds like Brandy.
Yes.
You know?
It sounds like if Whitney were still making music, something that she would be doing.
Exactly.
Collaborating with acclaimed musicians like Rodney Jerkins and late vocal producer LaShawn Daniels, Brandy implemented a vocal style that felt effortless to the listener.
Brandy's vocal agility, fast vibrato, and crystal clear runs soon became her trademark. Rather than testing the limits of her belting power and vocal range, Brandy focuses on her mid-register with great control. Taking inspiration from jazz singers, she often utilizes the mixed voice approach. By mixing her chest voice and her head voice, she brings an airy and buttery quality to her singing.
Perhaps this is one of the reasons why her voice still sounds as flexible as ever today. Even when she belts, she does so with care. She knows exactly how long to sustain a note and how soon to descend off of it.
When will you get that picture? La, so, la,
Yeah.
you know that?
That's fire. That's fire.
Her use of tensions and knowing how to like use an approach note, you know, and then like a suspension. So in later years, Full Moon, she literally, while the chord is just doing all the things. The woman is singing down.
Like many R&B singers, Brandy is also a fan of ad-libs. She often adds to the story of each song by inserting new melodic layers to top off the main theme.
Every element feels intentional, and it intensifies the emotional impact on the listener.
Grammy Award-winning gospel singer-songwriter Erica Campbell said it best. It's a perfect marriage of vocal and lyric.
Brandy is piano. Brandy is a string section.
Oh, wow.
Her arrangements are arrangements. They're pads.
Orchestrations.
Or an orchestration. Like you could strip away all instrumentation of a Brandy song and have a full song.
There's a reason why many consider Brandy's third album to be her greatest body of work.
In Full Moon, it was time to showcase the depth of her abilities.
Brandy said she believed the track What About Us could change the game. The offbeat futuristic song took influence from hip-hop and dance pop.
Rodney Jerkins had a field day on Full Moon, and if you listen to Full Moon, if you listen to the very first song on there called I Thought, you'll hear the way that he used that same production on Feedback for Janet Jackson 4 or 5 years later. Rodney Jerkins literally found his sound, in my opinion, on the Brandy Full Moon album. Okay. Brandy is a singer that producers can find their sound in.
As she was in the studio finishing up the production of Full Moon, Brandy found out that she was pregnant with her daughter, Sarai.
Now the mother of a toddler in her 20s, Brandy was ready to show the world what adulthood looked like through her eyes.
First, she said goodbye to her longtime collaborator, Rodney Jerkins, and brought in Timbaland to produce her fourth studio album, Aphrodisiac.
In this album, Brandy's voice sounds more raw than ever before. Boldly referencing Coldplay in I Tried, this classic R&B tune aligns Brandy's ad-libs with her building frustration and regret in the face of infidelity.
With the release of Aphrodisiac, Brandy's vocal trinity was finally complete. Between Never Say Never, Full Moon, and Aphrodisiac, she provided the perfect guidebook for R&B artists for many years to come.
Given the plethora of female artists now dominating the game, it's easy to forget how it all began. Solange once said, "Brandy is a goddess in R&B to a lot of people. She is really the foundation for a lot of this very innovative, progressive, experimental R&B. Brandy influenced a lot of that."
There's a reason why Solange, one of the most experimental R&B artists of today, puts Brandy on a pedestal. Nowadays, it's common to hear singers use their voices in unconventional ways. But back when Brandy was on her way up, that approach was practically unheard of.
Okay, so I have a question that I'm nervous to ask you, but can you teach me some of Brandy's vocal techniques?
Oh my gosh, yes. What song are we gonna do?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Okay, so my favorite song, one of my favorite songs, is When You Touch Me. Really miss you, baby.
Okay. Really miss you, baby.
So you want to be really specific about where you put vibrato when it comes to singing,
Okay.
Brandy.
Oh, okay, it's gonna be a challenge for me to not sing with vibrato. Really miss you, baby. Oh, I caught myself.
Vibrato isn't a bad thing. It's just not true to Brandy's aesthetic. It's like it's so specific in our world. We call it chiaro oscuro, the blend of light and dark. Like it's just different for her. It's really unique. It doesn't really go by the standard. Like you can tell she took the standard and kind of modified it for her signature sound.
Today, Brandy is evidently still working on expanding her range, showcasing a few previously unheard falsetto tones on songs like I Am More.
R&B is a huge part of mainstream pop music today, in part thanks to Brandy propelling the genre forward during a time where black female artists were all but missing from the charts. Her TV shows, movies, and endorsement deals helped her reach role model status, but it was her musical excellence that cemented her legacy. Thanks for tuning in to our Brandy episode. A friend of mine and the creator of Soundfield has started a new project inspired by Soundfield that goes beyond music. I'll let Joseph tell you about it.
Working on Soundfield inspired me to create a new PBS documentary series called Subculture, which explores how lesser-known communities have influenced the mainstream culture around us. I've met with a blonde gamer who plays Mortal Kombat professionally, I've met cowboys and cowgirls from the gay rodeo, and I've also explored how anime became a $25 billion industry.
Check it out on the PBS Voices link in our description, and let them know that Soundfield sent you.
Here are your submissions from our last video when we asked you what your favorite pop punk song is.
Ever Fallen in Love by the Buzzcocks is perfect, and I could listen to it every day until I die.
As always, thanks for watching. We want to hear what your favorite Brandy vocal moment is. If you'd like, you can submit a video of yourself telling us your favorite songs at the link in the description.